Mystical Ninja starring Goemon is an action-adventure game for the Nintendo 64 released in 1998 by Konami. It's the fifth entry into the Japanese Ganbare Goemon series of games, but only the second released in North America. It's also the series' first foray into 3D. It does have a lot of comedy, including surrealism and meta-humor, but some of it just doesn't play due to our lack of historical and cultural context, and some of it's honestly simply lost in translation. My personal story with this game begins and ends in 1998, when I rented it and played it to completion in a couple of days. I have vague but fond memories of it, and some of the music has stayed in my head to this day, so look forward to that happening to you too. Thanks to a recent find on local classified ads, what's up Andy, I'm ready to dive back in and explore it again. So let's go for it together. And with that, we find ourselves at the title screen for the game. Not much to do here except start an option and not a lot of very exciting options, so we're just going to skip past those for now and go ahead and start the game. Now, this game does support the use of a controller pack, actually demands it, which is basically just Nintendo's version of a save card. So that's something you need unless you want to start from the beginning every time. And here we go. With all that nonsense, our adventure begins in Goemon's small but tasteful home. Do a quick rundown of the controls here. Seems we can run around in circles, jump. There's our basic attack, which can be strung together into sort of a 3-hit combo there. You can switch between the pipe and the coins that you can throw for a distance attack, but that does cost money, as you see. And lastly, you can crawl with some of the best crawling animations you've ever seen in a video game. That's amazing. Not much to do in his house. You can sort of look around. There's a picture of a cute girl in the background there. Can't go on to the rest of the mats. I guess we have our shoes on already, so that wouldn't be proper. So with that, it's outside into town. The aliens, the aliens, the aliens, the aliens. Everybody, you want to talk to almost every townsperson in this game just because they've all got something unusual and kind of funny to say. Sometimes there's sort of non sequiturs there. It's a nice cherry blossom tree there. And there's me mashing on different buttons trying to figure out if they do anything else. I can get a map of the area. And this is kind of the market spot in the town, but we're going to save that for later on. First of all, I want to grab these extra coins that are tantalizingly floating here for some reason. And let's poke around some of the rest of these houses. Here's my house again. A little bit confused geographically. Neighbor's place. It's rather much larger on the inside, seemingly, than it is on the outside. And there's some of that meta humor I've mentioned in the introduction. And I do enjoy the way they highlight, certain key bits of information. He's 85 years old. Remember that. Hold on to it till the end of the game. Mokube used to live next door. He was a pipe maker. Oh. So when I say pipe, it's actually meant to be like it's a Japanese-style smoking pipe that I'm equipped with. It's very large, of course, but that's his primary weapon. This guy looks like he has ill intent as he hops toward me, and then he runs off with 50 of my dollars. Get back here. There's more of the same. Somehow I don't get quite all of my money back, which is very disappointing, but now I know to look out for him in the future. I want to know the way to Oedo Castle. We gotta go see what the commotion is over there. Go by over the gate and past the Nihonbashi Bridge. Perfect. Thank you, sir. Let's head on through. Oops, there's a gate, yeah. Well, I suppose so. I just got here myself. The bridge that leads to Oedo Castle has been destroyed. Oh no. To be continued. Wait, did you just say to be continued to me? Like, So that's some of that, that may be some of that humor that just gets lost in translation. Here we are, surely enough. There are emergency star blocks in place that I can get across using the chain pipe, an upgrade that I do not yet have. Well, I do need to get across this bridge, so I guess I'm off in search of the chain pipe. I did hear that hint early about Mokube the pipe maker living on Mount Fuji, so probably that's my next destination. Let's see if he'll tell me the way to Mount Fuji. Red pillars, Thunder Gate, Fortune Teller. And you have to turn the corner and go straight. Kai Highway. Got it. Okay. Cool. Let's just make 1 or 2 quick stops in these houses here, just to look around. There are pickpockets in the air. Yeah, I figured that already. Thank you. Got there. Oh. Okay, red pillars, I think. Be sure to go to the Thunder Gate. That is the way of my life. Oh, I should probably follow that guy. Atomic stick. Oh, awesome. You gotta teach me that sometime, bud. Well, here we are through the gates there, and it's kind of an unusual looking house up ahead. I worry. When something worries you, the best thing to do is to go see a fortune teller with the plasma power. Well, that sounds intriguing. Why don't we take a look? Oh, okay. Oh, they... Yes, folks, that is a man in a loincloth yelling plasma at me. For reasons. If you want to enter Oedo Castle, enter on the left-hand side when you face this... Well, I mean, we've tried that. Oh, yeah, okay. Alright, yep, we've already got there. Perfect. I think it's fun to just hear him yell plasma. Good times. Alright, well, good to know that we're on the right track. There's a dog, so of course I need to talk to him. His name is Chuppy. That's the best name. Chuppy the puppy. And for some reason I can understand him. We find ourselves in the Kai Highway in our first sort of big action section of the game. Also one of his best tunes. I'm beating up small doll children as well as floating scary dragon head things, as one does when traveling in Japan. Now, not to brag, but I was there a couple of years ago, and I will say that this game is pretty much one-to-one accurate to what traveling around Japan is actually like. Here's the Kai's coffee shop. And talking randomly to the first person offers me a map of Japan. Well, sell it at disc. Yeah, I'd love it. I need a map. Well, he likes my enthusiasm. And he decides to give it to me no charge. I got a map of Japan. Cool. Impact, the dancer. Interesting. Big star in the US. Maybe a movie. This is a little bit of the anachronistic humor that the game also enjoys. I like to employ quite a bit of that. Do I need stamina dumplings? No, thank you. I am full on stamina. Being health points in this game, I think, is interchangeable terms. Oh, mechanical robots. We can only hope. Alright. Back to the good tunes and the good adventures. Everything falls at one hit, which is kind of nice. And that bang is kind of satisfying, I have to be honest. We have some new enemies here. Little dolls are now shooting at me, which is unpleasant and painful. But not too bad to deal with. I really thought those presents they had were for me. Very sad. The biggest mountain, Mount Fuji. Now, it's also 100% accurate that Mount Fuji has these sort of scaffolds and ladders all over it. They say it's the biggest mountain, but it's really only a couple of stories tall. It's not actually that big, as you'll see. We have these scarecrows that shoot 2 bullets at a time, a little bit scarier, but not too terribly bad, as well as these floating head things are back. I said dragon, but I'm not sure. Maybe it's a dog. Hard to say. As well as these boulders that just sort of come in out of nowhere. And our very first silver fortune doll. With 3 more, your strength gauge will increase by 1. Those would be the heart pieces of this game. And we're going to keep an eye out for those wherever we can find them. Seems he didn't fall for any of my posturing. Here I get my first health item. It's some dango balls. These are Japanese sweets made from rice flour. They're actually quite tasty. They're chewy. So here, while mashing on buttons yet again, I discovered the ability to switch to Ebi Sumaru, who's Goemon's friend and the other person you can play as for now. He has a hammer as his main attack, and he also has the actual best crawling animation of all time. Otherwise, he controls very similar to Goemon. And spoiler alert, we'll be picking up different skills and abilities for these different characters, and that's going to necessitate switching back and forth as we solve puzzles and things. Continuing to climb Mount Fuji, I discovered that you can jump on the ladders, and then you can sort of fly up in a fun way. Doesn't help anything, but makes me laugh. It's a very, very lucky dodge of that bullet. And it looks like we have a little bit of a platform, a little bit of a challenge area coming up here. We'll see how we do. As far as I can tell, there's not really a good way to center the camera behind you except to crawl briefly, so that's why I'm gonna occasionally drop to the ground there. Here we can head inside Mount Fuji into the crater. We have some very large, angry-looking slinky-like things. This game's a little more Mario 64 than Legend of Zelda, as you can tell already. But that's alright. Here, man, watching that again, I just can't believe how much blind luck that was. I had no idea those things were going to spin around, and I managed to salvage it somehow. I think that was it. I think that was the luckiest thing I get to do. Turns out these slinkies can be easily avoided by just kind of hiding in the corner of the space that they land on. Hiding there. And we get to head back to the outside of Mount Fuji and continue on our way. Managed to get hit by one of those bullets there, very unfortunate. But not too bad. Still have lots of health left. Decided to switch to Ebi Sumaru for just a moment so you can see his running animations, which are the best. That's his full tilt run, which is kind of panicky. I'm not really sure how to describe that. And when you tilt the stick just a bit of a ways into kind of a jog, he has this amazing sort of skip that you'll see in a moment, I think, here. He is just a delight. Anyway, we appear to have made it to the top of Mount Fuji. There's sort of an area here, no enemies around, which is a bit curious. We're back inside. This leads back out to a platform with nothing on it. Okay. Oh, and that's meant to be a bandana that he's wearing. It kind of tucks up under his nose in a strange way, but that's what it is. It's not just his hair. He's actually a ninja, I guess. Breaking this vase got me a little bit of money, which is kind of nice. Not sure whose that was, but I'm expecting they'll be quite upset with me by now. So every time I lie down, that is me trying to center the camera yet again so I don't fall off and die. Anyway, there's a little house up here, and inside the house... Oh, hello. Smokabe. He's impressed that we made it this far. What are you doing here? to be the greatest worker in Japan on the greatest mountain in Japan. That's actually not why we're here, although somehow I ended up asking him again. That's really not why we're here. What we want is a good pipe. Oh. Hooray. We got exactly what we came to find. It's now possible to attach to the star mark and hopefully get to Oedo Castle. We'll switch back to, this is a Goemon exclusive weapon, so we'll test it out in a moment. First I had to check behind the cottage, of course, just to make sure there's no secrets back here. And tried the last of the exits. There's a special mango that'll refill my health completely, and it looks like there's no quicker way down than to just sort of jump for it, so... Just gonna make sure I didn't miss anything up here. I probably still am missing something, but, you know. Alright, well, nothing for it. I don't want to climb all the way back down through all the rocks and everything. So let's jump. Here we go. Try and leverage the side of the mountain a little bit just to slow my descent, but now I just went for it. Turns out, it's totally fine. There's a long and boring run around the base of the mountain that we're going to skip here. And then it's back onto the Kai Highway to start heading home. With a brief test of the new chain pipe. As you can see, it kind of whips out at range there, but it is kind of challenging to aim. The game doesn't really assist you in any way, and if you're at an angle, it's just going to take a bit of extra work, and so I think it's really not my favorite thing for the time being. As neat as it looks. I also briefly tried the coin to see if we could take anybody out of range, but that didn't work either, and now I'm just out money. So back to the regular pipe it is for now. Way off in this corner is another one of these lucky cats. Silver fortune doll. 2 more for my strength gauge to increase by 1. And the rest of the trip back to town was uneventful. Once there, I decided to ignore the rest of what that guy had to say and check out that market district that I briefly poked my head into before. Hoping to find a place to save my game for the time being. This isn't it. This is the coffee shop Viva Oedo. With kind of a nice song in the background. Sorry if I'm paging through this text kind of fast. I haven't recorded these in a while and I forgot that people need to be able to read things. Yes, it does. Okay, that was fascinating. The next place has one of my favorite little touches in the game so far. There you are, the shopkeeper and the restaurateur lady there, both saying irashai or irashaimase, which is a very, very common greeting when you walk into any store or restaurant in Japan, said with all kinds of different intonations and levels of energy behind it, but it's just, I don't know, it's a nice little detail. Again, apologies for my pronunciation. There's another spot selling me some food, except these are ones that I can take along with me. They are plain rice balls and plum rice balls. You'll automatically recover your strength to 4 points when you need it. So now that sits in my item slot, and that'll be nice to have as a little bit of an insurance policy should I run into some real trouble out there. Some extra armor items that will absorb damage for me. Up to 3 shots, meaning that these are not permanent, and should really only, I feel like I'm only going to need them if I'm having particular trouble with a section, so we'll leave that stuff for now. This doorway leads back to the home area where I live. And there's one more spot to check out right in the corner here. which is the inn. This is where we're going to save our game and call it a video, so thank you ever so much for watching. I hope you look forward to seeing the rest of these, as I look forward to making them for you. Yeah. Thanks again, and we'll see you next mission.